Let's determine the real number sets that the values that we're given belong to. So if we look at what is 5, what number set or sets does 5 belong? And 5 started with one of our natural numbers, those are counting numbers. And so if it's a natural number, it's also contained in the whole number set, the integer set, and the rational set. So therefore 5 is natural, whole, integer, and rational. What is -4? What number set or sets does -4 belong to? If we think back, our negative numbers were introduced in the integers. So therefore, -4 starts in the integers subset and then expands into the rational numbers. Our whole numbers is where 0 originated, and our whole numbers subset is contained in the integer set and the rational set. If we were to look at the square root of 8, the square root of 8 is 2.8284227, and there's no pattern to it. It doesn't stop, it doesn't have a pattern, doesn't repeat. So therefore, this is an irrational number. And then if we were to go to 1/4, 1/4, it doesn't fit any of the other characteristics. It's not a counting number. It's not a whole number. It's not an integer. 1/4 itself is a rational number. Now let's take a look at simplifying the expressions before we determine what number set or sets they belong. So the first one we have is the square root of 17. Again, if you were to type this in your calculator, you would get 4.123105. There is no pattern. It does not end. It's a non-repeating, non-terminating decimal. So then this is an irrational number. 8 divided by 2 is 4, so we simplify it first. We know that 4 is one of our counting numbers, so it's natural, which means it's also whole. It also belongs in the integers and the rational. 0.25 times 0, anything times 0 is 0. And so we even saw in the previous slide that 0 is contained in the whole number set, the integers, and the rational numbers. So it's a whole number, it's an integer, and it's rational. And if we were to simplify 10 minus 25, we get -15, which are negative numbers, start in the integer subset. So it's an integer, and it's rational. Now the fun one is 6 divided by 10. Let's first change this into a fraction of 6/10, which gives us 3/5. 3/5 fits only in the rational set of the real numbers. You could even use 6 divided by 10 in your calculator and see that it is at the decimal 0.6. It's a decimal that terminates, it stops, and so therefore it fits in the rational number subset.